Hi everyone, my name is Kelley Cole, and I will be showing you my online English 101 Blackboard shell. I will actually be teaching two online courses in the spring, so this is really good for me to start getting ready. I have a lot more I need to do, but I just wanted to share this with you, and I am actually going to go into teacher mode and act as if I am sharing it to my students, which I will eventually be doing this for real. But you are my guinea pigs. So here you go. We are in student preview mode, so let's go. Hi guys, my name's Kelley Cole. I'll be your instructor for your online English 101 course. I wanted to give you a little bit of an overview of our Blackboard page so that you are familiar with where everything is and what you need to do with everything. So here is our homepage. I made it called homepage because I always tell my students, if anything happens, if you get stuck on something, if you get lost, if you start clicking through and you have no idea where you are, always go home. It's always good to go home. So I've made this home, and this will take you back to the front page of our Blackboard. And the one thing I do want to point out, because I know you're all familiar with this, but I wanted to point out the announcements. I use announcements all the time. And it's very frustrating for me to put announcements on and send emails out only to realize that nobody looks at them. So it's very, very important that you check your announcements. Check them regularly, as well as your DTCC email, and make sure that you are staying on top of that at least every day. And you'll also see that this is where I can insert my love of memes. This little guy, he said, well, all right, then let's get started. So let's get started with digging a little bit deeper into our Blackboard course. So I put start here because this is the first thing I want you to take a look at. This is an overview of this specific class. And I want you to read through it. This class is for you to learn how to be a better reader, critical thinker, and be able to analyze what you're reading in all of your classes. This is not just for English classes. This, I'm hoping, will help you with all of your other classes where you have to read assignments, write essays, analyze things. So that's what this is about. Make sure you check out these little tabs over here, which is what we're going to talk about in a few minutes. And then here's what your grades will be based on. It looks like a lot. It is quite a bit of work, but it's not all done at once. I will be with you every step of the way, and it will be a step-by-step process. So I am a very straightforward thinker, and I like to have things laid out so that there can be no confusion. So I did that hoping that I could make life a little bit easier for you as well as for me. So I'm going to show you what we did and kind of walk you through it. And if you have questions, we can talk about those individually later. So let's go over here. Here's the instructor information. This is me, my kids, my husband's taking the picture. My email is kcole7@dtcc.edu. I am on campus several days a week in the spring, but I also can do virtual appointments. And a virtual appointment I'm going to show you is on Zoom. And it's like we are sitting in the room together talking. I can look at what's on your computer screen. You can look at what's on my computer screen. We can look at each other. We can talk. And it's pretty cool. It's a little weird at first, but you'll get used to it. It is really, really a neat tool that we're going to utilize this semester. All right, so then we get down here to the syllabus. And this is, I'm not going to open it up. It is the generic syllabus that Del Tech puts out for all of its classes. You've probably had it in all of your other classes. It has, the course number. It has the grading scale. It has all of those fun things on it. So if you want to take a look at that, you can pull that up. But this is probably what you are going to want to look at a little bit more in depth. An online course is different. You need to be really disciplined, motivated, and responsible. And you need to know up front what's expected of you. So because you're not required to go sit in a class with me once or twice a week, there are certain things that you need to do to show your attendance. And these are graded. So we have a group discussion. And the group discussion link is right here. And once a week, you are to hop on that group discussion and answer the discussion question or questions that I've put up there. You also need to comment on at least 2 other classmates' discussions with meaningful content. You can't just say, oh, that was a nice job. You really need to add something to the conversation. These are due every Friday by noon. So you have to create, well, let's go to the group discussion right now. So if you click on group discussion, you'll see here's the week 1 discussion. And you're going to click on that. And you will see create thread. You're going to create your thread. And it'll have the question right up here. So this week is do a 3, 2, 1. So 3 things you learned from the readings this week, 2 ways you can use the information you learned in your studies, and 1 question you still have that you're a little bit confused about. So you're going to answer down here, and you're going to submit it. That's going to pop it up so that others can read it. Other people will comment on yours, and you will go to other discussion threads, and you will read theirs and comment on theirs. So it's a virtual class discussion. Those need to be done by noon on Friday. The response to your classmates' threads need to be done by noon on Sunday. So if your classmates didn't turn in their discussion until 11:59 on Friday, you obviously can't respond to them before noon on Friday. So you have until Sunday to go through and look at it and make a couple of comments. Now, there is an exception to this. Every Friday at 10 a.m., that's why it has stars, every Friday at 10 a.m., we will have a virtual meeting. I will send out the meeting ID number. Those meetings are not mandatory. However, if you come and you participate in that virtual meeting, you do not have to do the group discussion for that week because you're basically doing the group discussion virtually. You do still need to do the self-reflective blog, which we will talk about in a second, but you do not have to do the thread. So it'll be about 15, 20 minutes. We're all going to talk about what we've read that week. I will throw some questions out there. You need to participate, jump in. And I actually do have a video over here on how to do the Zoom meetings. They're super easy. They're actually a lot of fun. But that's just another way for you to get into a discussion. If you like to talk, if you want to kind of see who's in the classes, if you want to hear what other people say, it's another way for you to be able to have that camaraderie and discussion with me and your classmates. So we finally have our self-reflective blog. This is something you must do every week. Whether you do the Zoom meeting or the group discussion, you have to do the self-reflective blog because it gives me a little bit of an insight into what you read, what you're thinking, and what you got out of it. So you'll need to write a short blog. It has to be at least a paragraph answering the questions I put up for you to respond to. Usually I'll ask you to reflect on the readings and lessons we did that week. This is a way for you to show me how much you absorbed from your lessons. These are always due Sundays at noon. Okay, so these are always due Sundays at noon. Group discussions due Friday, unless you go to the Friday Zoom meeting at 10. There are other assignments. So just like every other English 101 class, you will have reading comprehension that you will need to do. You will have quizzes you will need to take. You have critical analysis worksheets you have to do. Everything that is due for the week is due by Sunday at noon. I just decided that was easiest. It gives you some time. I know everybody's busy. It gives you time, if you don't have time during the week to get it all done, a little bit of time on the weekend. Now, You may turn it in earlier, but if you don't have it all in by Sunday at noon, the late policy goes into effect. And this is the college policy. So you have 24 hours to turn in for a maximum of 90. You could turn it in up to a week late for a maximum of 75. After a week, it's a 0. We will also have conferencing, which will be on Zoom. When we start our writing assignments, I will be able to conference with you one-on-one. I will be able to see your papers. I'll be able to mark on them, and we will be able to chat virtually on how you did your paper. Quizzes and tests will be done online. They will be timed, and I will give you a window of when that assignment needs to be done. It has to be done in one sitting, and you have one chance, just like you would in a regular class. You'll also have a midterm project, which all English classes will be doing the same midterm project. So you are going to be doing the same type of project. It will be a group project with your other classmates, and I will give you more information on that as we get a little bit closer. And then finally, writing assignments, you need to make sure you are familiar with Google Docs. I will have a video up here if you're not familiar. Actually, I put a video right here, but I'll also put it up in the instructor videos so that you can understand how to use this. This is so I can edit your work and send it back to you, and you can see my edits. So those are the policies, and please make sure you are very familiar with those. Then we have instructor videos. This is where I will put up information that will help you. So, for example, using Zoom for English 101, I created this little video to show you how to use Zoom. This is for the virtual conferencing. This is for the virtual meetings. It's really easy. Zoom is super easy. So you could watch the video there. We talked about the here's the self-reflective blog. We talked about the group discussion. Here's the self-reflective blog. So I've only put up the first 4 weeks. And you will simply go in, click on it. I will have a question. What's your learning style? Do you agree with the results of your quiz? Explain. You'll understand this once you get into your learning materials. And you'll create your blog entry. You'll write it. This is where you have to have at least a paragraph. You'll write it. You'll post your entry. This is due by Sundays at noon. Then we talked about the group discussion. So let's go down to learning materials. This is where a big bulk of your work is going to take place. You'll see that there are 5 folders, 4 units, 1 midterm. If you click on Unit 1, which is where we are right now or where we're starting, you'll see that it's broken down into 4 weeks. So here's week 1. I'm going to put the dates up here just to make sure everybody is positive of where they are. And you'll see your assignment for week 1. So this week you'll be learning about how you learn best. You also get some information on how to be better active readers. Watch the videos, read chapter 1 in your textbook. And then here are the reminders of what's due. Here is the week 1 assignment video. So I created a video here that links to YouTube. Hi there, here's your assignment for week 1. Okay, so that is in case you want to hear me talk about it. Then you'll have to watch a learning styles video in addition to reading chapter 1 in your textbook. And you need to take the learning style questionnaire, which is online. Take the questionnaire, take notes on what your results are. We'll discuss this in our group discussion and blog this week. So this is where everything you need to do outside of the blog and group discussion are. So we're in learning materials, just to review, learning materials, unit 1, week 1, and then your assignments. Down here we have our course email. So if you need to email all users, you could put them in, you can email that, all the students in the class, all the instructors, and just know that this will also go to the department chairs who are listed on there. Or you could select users. Then here's where your grades are, and everything else is pretty much the same as every other Blackboard page, but I wanted to show you what's specific to our class. So if you have any questions, let me know. And remember, always go home, always email. Make sure you check for updates on your announcements. Make sure you check your emails. And I think we are going to have an awesome, awesome semester. So thanks for listening, and I will talk to you soon.